Now, as most of the regular viewers know, I am rather partial to a laminate stock. And what about this one? Cayenne. That's a red hot chili pepper, isn't it? Hello and welcome to AAR on Air. This week is a look at the latest rifle from the guys at BSA, which not only looks beautiful, but maybe marks a host of changes to part of the BSA range. Let's take a closer look, shall we? The first thing that hits you squarely in the eyes is that Cayenne laminate stock with its red colouring flowing through it. Now, laminate stocks are definitely an emotive, personal thing with lovers, haters, and maybe some middle ground too. Let's come back to that a little later. The new rifle is 1020mm long, which is just over 40 inches, with a 390mm barrel, which sits in the middle of the old standard and super carbine lengths and marks a new single choice, which I personally think is a very positive move, because most of the time customers were confused as to which length to choose, thinking the longer barrel was going to make the gun so much more accurate, when my experience is it didn't make a huge difference at all, if any. I've said it so many times that BSA cold hammer forged barrels are so very, very good and very accurate. Heck, it's in the Gamma range and it shows how good it is in those too. The weight. This tips the scales unscoped at 3.89 kilograms or 8.5 pounds. Hang on, I can hear people saying that's not a lot lighter, but it has a carbon bottle fitted as standard now, so why isn't it featherweight? Well, that's because the size of the carbon bottle is way bigger than the old steel one, and just to confirm it, this new rifle in .22 caliber is capable of around 440 shots from a 230 bar fill, where the old bottle gave around 205 shots in the same caliber. So that's more than twice the number from the new carbon bottle. Small wonder so many people are upgrading their R12s to the new bottle. As soon as Vector Air seem to get them in, they more or less fly off the shelf. Blimey, we've only touched on dimensions and already so many differences are starting to become evident. From the front then, this has a silencer and barrel shroud or cover and is attached to a 1/2 inch UNF threaded barrel and can be removed and fitted with a silencer of your choice if preferred. I've tried many silencers on these and can confirm it is possible to get this a little quieter, but it doesn't make enough difference for me to permanently change the standard BSA, rather attractive in my opinion, setup. Underneath this cold hammer forged barrel is that now supplied as standard beautiful 480cc carbon bottle, and before anyone else asks, sadly, no, it doesn't fit the older R10. Otherwise, I'd fit one to mine. This flows beautifully into the rose shape of the dark walnut part of the Cayenne laminate stock. This has a front swivel stud fitted as standard. The top rail is a BSA 13mm dovetail rail, and because I've decided to fit an amazing new Taurus to this rifle, I've fitted an Eagle Vision Weaver Picatinny 13mm adapter, which I believe is 150mm long, which now opens this up to an easier rail system. That said, I've never had an issue with the dovetail system before. I suppose more and more people are moving to this rail, including the likes of Viroc. This has the re-engineered 12-round colour-coded magazine, which is simplicity itself to load, and fits beautifully under that Eagle Vision rail. There we go. The side lever on this is super smooth with a defined click, no wobble, and a biathlon style bottom arm that swivels for more comfort. Now I know I've had this argument before, but this is an ambidextrous rifle with symmetry flowing all the way through it, but the side lever is not interchangeable. But I still maintain this is ambidextrous because the side the lever is on does not preclude a right or left-handed shooter from using this. Indeed, it is a personal preference only, and one could argue that left-handed shooters have an advantage because they don't need to take their finger from the trigger. To the rear of this lot is the manual safety, which is now pretty standard across the CLX type range. This is a simple turn switch with red dot showing ready for fire. The trigger on this is just a dream to use. It is a 2-stage and fully adjustable. I shoot so many different price rifles and indeed pistols and the lot, and I always love coming back to shoot a BSA with this trigger fitted. It is beautiful and suits me perfectly. Let's take a look at that stock now, shall we? Yes, it is a laminate, so it's got to be something awful for me to not like it. And this is lovely, with 3 colours in there that just work so well with the curvy shapes of this R12. There is enough going on to make this interesting enough without overkill. There is that cutaway for the side lever that curves down to the trigger area, and of course that thicker grip which makes this so very comfortable for me. BSA and Manelli have got the stock so right. Even with this being a thumb hole design, it still gives me the thumbs up shooting position that I like, and this works in right or left-handed shooting. This is probably the first time BSA have removed the walnut base colour from the grip area and allowed the natural colour lines of the laminate to shine through, and I think it looks beautiful. They've retained the adjustable cheek riser and the rubber-coated finish that makes this so comfortable. Some may prefer this to be in the same laminate finish, but I personally prefer the black contrasting finish that matches the adjustable rear butt pad. The filler port for this is on the underside, just in front of the BSA labelled wicker gauge that is easy to read and colour-coded, clearly showing its preferred 232 bar fill pressure. This has a magnetic cover that doubles up as a surround for the gauge. Now I realise there are lots of people out there who have probably already started typing such rubbish claiming I am on the BSA payroll, and again, I will tell you I'm not. The reason I like BSAs is because I'm, well, a bit of a patriot, which sometimes seems to be a dirty word these days, but the overriding reason is they fit me like an old pair of slippers. I love the traditional style. They are so easy to shoot. You feel like you've been shooting them all your life, and of course they are so very accurate. Are they without their faults? No. But tell me something that is fault-free. Heck, I had a new Porsche within 3,000 miles the gearbox let go for no apparent reason. And I could give you lots of other examples, as I'm sure everyone could, especially around guns, and high-end guns too. But they have listened. They have fitted these rifles with a brand new regulator. They fitted that carbon bottle, side lever rather than a bolt, and so on. And I realise not all of these were problematic, but it was what people were asking for. And I have a feeling they may well be adding a Picatinny rail on the top of the rifles in the not too distant future. But it can't happen overnight. There is R&D, tooling, existing stock level issues, and more business restrictions that delay these changes. BSAs have been around since 1861. That's nearly as long as me. And yet they are still striving to be up to date. And no, that doesn't instantly mean a tactical rifle. But who knows what the future may bring. I do hope, though, that they don't stop doing beautiful rifles like this, though. Anyway, enough of that. What about the power levels? Let's get this over the chronograph, shall we? And just to remind people, I use a calibrated scan chronograph to make sure it's accurate. As usual, I'm using a 177 caliber version, but 22 is also available. And using standard 8.44 grain pellets, it saw 784 feet per second, which is 11.52 foot-pounds, or 15.62 joules. As usual, let's try some heavier weight, more hunting-based 10.34 grain pellets. And using these, it saw 722 feet per second, which is 11.97 foot-pounds, or 16.23 joules. Now, come on, how much power do you want from your sub 12 foot-pound rifle? Absolutely perfect in my eyes. Next up then is the target work, and I've been looking forward to this part. I fitted a truly amazing Taurus 4-32 by 56 first focal plane 0-stop scope with a 34mm tube. I would have preferred to put some slightly lower mounts on this, but this has just made this beautiful rifle an amazing rifle. This is quickly becoming the new Continental, but at a lower price end. And if you use code AAR2024, you can get Vector Air to pay the VAT for you. And that's on all the Vector Optics range. Anyway, out at 40 metres. Here goes. The BSA Pro R12 in Cayenne. Red hot chili pepper. Red laminate. Whatever you want to call it. I don't care what you call it. I just think it's beautiful. I absolutely think it's beautiful. Everybody knows I've got a soft spot for laminate stocks and traditional style rifles. And this just ticks the boxes. So straight away, it's something that I like. You open the box, you go, yes, thank you, love it. Let's see how it can shoot. Now, I'm expecting big things from this. I have put the new Taurus Gen 2 scope on the top. I've zeroed it in just with one magazine. I'm now about to use the second magazine on film, and let's see how we go. We're down at 40 metres. It's a calm day, which is really useful. It's a bit of a dull day, but it is a calm day, so let's not complain. It's a good day for shooting. No, I'm saying that, I haven't shot yet. But yes, straight away, I love it. I love the design. I love the lines. I love the fact that you can shoot thumb up, thumb down, whichever you prefer. The triggers on these are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I've got several other guns that I've got to try and shoot today, fingers crossed. And I just know from here on in, it's sort of going to be a bit downhill because of this trigger. That's a bit unfair of me to say, but I do try and judge each gun on its own merits, rather than, but you still can't help shooting one thing and thinking, I really enjoyed that, this is not quite up to its standard, or this is better. So let's see how we go. Yeah, side lever, beautifully smooth. All I have done is loaded up with the magnetic magazine, and of course the indicator on the side as well to show you that it's cocked. I've loaded up one magazine full of gold stars. They're not sorted, they're just straight out of a tin. They are BSA Gold Stars, which of course are H&N, so fingers crossed the Cold Hammer Forge barrel should like it, because H&N worked closely with BSA to try and bring up a pellet that they like. I would rather have had some lower mounts on this scope, but this is what I got, so you shoot what you brung. There's more wildlife going off here a little today. Don't know why. Yeah, you'll probably see pigeons and all sorts of stuff going off, but I'm focusing on shooting target work today. So let's give it a go without further ado. Let's go and have a look. Now, I don't think that's bad, but you know what? I'm actually not completely satisfied with it. It is all touching. A splayed out, let's go with that word, out group, which is about as big as my fingernail, and that's down at 40 metres. I do feel as though I could have done better, and I'm a bit frustrated because I really wanted them all in the same hole, and it is capable of doing it. Okay, racing driver excuses. I haven't even got this on level ground, so okay, there's lots and lots of things I could do. It's irrelevant really, because yes, the gun is well capable of it, well capable. I'd use this as my go-to and a yardstick gun to shoot, without a doubt, a bit like my R10. The thing is with it, I wanted to give it some real world, and if this is real world, it's real world and it's outside. And if you can do that under those conditions, then you can certainly do a lot more. And if you were putting this into a competition, yeah, woe betide everybody else who's in that competition, because I think you're going to wipe the floor with them. It is a beautiful, beautiful gun. I suppose you could say I'm biased towards the R10s, R12s, not for any other reason other than I know they perform. They feel beautiful to me. The grips are lovely. You've got a proper handful. I don't like a weedy little thin grip. I like a chunky grip, and even like the AR-15 style grips on a lot of the new guns, which is what's coming in. I prefer a fatter one. I just would. It's a beautiful, beautiful gun, and more than anything, it's a bit of eye candy as well. That scope is fabulous. I do think it wants shorter mounts on it, which I may well do, but it is well capable. I've done a few, and to be honest, that isn't the best one that I actually did, but it's still more than good enough as a result to show how good this gun is. It's superb. I love it. I haven't had any issues with the magazine. Then again, I don't point it up and shoot into trees, which you shouldn't do anyway. It's a beautiful thing. They seem to have this absolutely nailed down right now. Yeah, beautiful thing. I can't say any more because it just sounds like I'm biased. Thoroughly enjoyable, and at that kind of money, I do think you're getting a quality product. Definitely getting a quality product, and a good looking one as well. That's it. I've enjoyed it. Back to the studio. Well, what about that? It could be that it's just so comfortable for me, or that the rifle is really that good. Probably a bit of both. I just so enjoy shooting these, and putting nice glass on top is always a guarantee to enjoy the shooting experience more. I'm no different from anyone else out there that will tell you the optics are just as important as the rifle. Okay, the price part. This is a higher end rifle with so much more attention to detail, and all those small details add up to a terrific overall rifle. It comes with 2 magazines, I believe, filler probe, lock, high quality BSA hard case, and in this, well, I want to call it red hot chili pepper finish, but no doubt there would be copyright people jumping all over that statement. So we'll call it the Cayenne, and let Porsche have a go instead. It will set you back £1,450 UK, which is just about the same price as a pair of Prada shoes. Well, that's me having fun and flying the flag with a truly enjoyable rifle to shoot. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review too. If you have, please give us the old thumbs up, subscribe, feel free to share, and don't forget to click the old alarm bell. There is the AAR On Air website for info, merch, Green Air Project, and of course, competitions. A big thank you to Vector Air for their help with this review and much more, and for putting up with me on Saturdays down at their shop. I would also like to thank the people who have supported the AAR Green Air project, and here are just a few of the names of people who have supported us so far. Thank you. Finally, a big thank you to you guys for watching. Please stay safe and shoot safe, and hopefully I'll see you all next week. Bye for now. That is beautiful.